Hi, everyone. I have so much to share with you. Let's get started. If you missed last month's solo story, you missed a fascinating story by Jennifer Bobby Wash about her journey as a Native American woman. These solo stories, which stream each month on the third Saturday of the month, have just been amazing. And you do not want to miss this month's solo story, Nancy Ma's Home. Nancy did a reading of her show as part of our Thursday night coffee table readings last year and was so embraced by all those who saw it that we just had to have her do it for solo stories.
This was another God moment. I saw myself so clearly and I hated it. I kept trying to be the girl he needed me to be, which meant I had to make myself smaller and smaller. I tried to play it cool, but we had too much history for it to be casual. Why are you drinking? We're at the hospital. We're doing what? Yeah. I'm going to Mushroom. Fine. Just drink yourself to death.
This time on our very own stage. Tickets are available on our website, and the show streams Saturday, May 15th. These solo stories celebrate the journeys of women from all walks of life. They're moving and thought-provoking and exceptional works of theater. And what is so extraordinary is the way they're filmed. You really feel like you're in the front row of this theater having the performance done just for you. And that is thanks to our dedicated and talented Morgan Wixon crew. Much gratitude to Marai Buthong for curating these solo stories, and to Bill Wilday for the lights and technical aspects, and to Ashley DiFrancesco, who's been coming in and helping with all these recordings. But a big bucket of gratitude to Nico Montalibano, who has been acting as our video director and doing a spectacular job of editing them all. Thanks to these folks, you really feel like you're sitting next to me right here, even though you're really in the comfort of your own home. Thanks, guys, for making this series such a theatrical treat. Please join us for the next solo story. I mentioned last month that we had another exciting virtual show being produced by our very own Ruby Lapeyre and Sebastian Blue. It's a show that will be available online this summer, produced by Y.E.S. But at the time, I couldn't share the details with you. Well, I'm happy to say that this month we can give you the details. And I have Ruby and Sebastian here in the theater, socially distanced, to tell you all about it. Thanks for joining me today. Can you introduce yourselves for those folks that don't know you?
I'm Ruby Lapeyre.
I'm Sebastian Blue.
So you guys are producing this show. Do you know, is this the first time we've had Y.E.S participants producing the show?
I believe, yeah.
I think for producing, yes.
We're like the showrunners.
Yeah, we're the showrunners. We're creating the shot list and developing like the aesthetic of the show as well. So it's a lot of work, but it's very fun. And it's great that we were actually given the opportunity as students to produce a show.
Another great thing is we're having live music. I'm recording all of the music with my band, Chesterfield People, and we are recording all the music for the show together to be, and what you'll hear at the end is a live band and not pre-recorded tracks.
Tell me about the rest of the creative team.
Anne Gessling is our director, and if you know the Morgan Wixon Theater, you probably know Anne Gessling. She has been directing at the theater for a very long time for all of the Y.E.S shows, so of course we had to have her direct this show.
Yes.
Marai Buthong is our choreographer for the show, and she has done a lot of the main stage shows, but this is kind of her first time being involved in the Y.E.S program. She also teaches in the Y.E.S workshops.
And we're also working with an amazing, amazing technical director, editor, videographer, all in one, Ian Liu, who's a friend of the theaters, and we're so excited to be having that film aspect brought into the theater.
So how are you going to rehearse the show during COVID?
The rehearsal process is going to be a combination of in-person, masks on, socially distanced rehearsals, as well as Zoom rehearsals. So you get kind of that in-person feel that you used to get, but it's all safe.
We're treating this basically like a movie. So we are thinking about, we're going to be filming it all, and we're going to be thinking about learning your songs before, and then we're going to record our songs, and then we're going to, film us singing the songs that we already recorded. It's going to be unlike any theatrical experience you've ever done, but also you're going to have that same feeling of being in a play or a musical.
Is there a lot of actor interaction on stage? How are you going to do this safely?
There's no interaction, really.
I mean,
We're filming everybody by themselves, so there is no two people next to each other on a camera in a screen. It's always one person, and then we will edit another person in. So when you're watching it, it looks like we're next to each other.
Exactly. All interaction will be done in post.
You've given a lot of thought to this process.
We sure have.
Yes, we have.
How will I get to watch this show later this summer?
You can buy a ticket, and then it'll be streamed to your living room live on July 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Mm-hmm. There will be talkbacks after some of the shows, so you can talk to the actors.
Ask them some questions.
Yeah. And I think that I'm really excited to see what's going to come of it.
Me too.
If I'm in the age range, which I'm not, how do I get to audition?
So auditions are May 8th and 9th. So if you're interested, you can go to the link tree on the Instagram account and click on Now Hear This, and it'll have all the information for you to sign up and audition for us on Zoom, of course, to be safe.
You're going to be preparing 32 bars of a musical theater song, and then there will be callbacks afterwards, selective callbacks to see some, acting and monologuing skills. And we're excited to see everyone who's going to come out.
Why did you come to the board with this production?
Well, I think that this show tells honest stories about finding who you are in your life. And I think that that's such an important thing. And people have been finding a lot about themselves during quarantine. And I think that it's a great way to be telling your stories. Again, I keep saying storytelling, but it's about telling these stories and have these individual highlights for all the actors. And I'm so excited to see what everyone will be able to bring to the table. And it's not all on the page.
It was written by the people who wrote Title of Show, and it consists of the same cast. So it's usually performed by adults, but with the version that we are doing, it was made for kids and teenagers, and most of the songs are about their experience as teenagers. So it's very relatable. Definitely. With kids.
Yeah.
As you know, the Morgan Wixon has been working diligently over the last several years to make this theater fully inclusive. What are you guys doing to make sure that this production represents our community?
Well, I think the greatest thing about this show is that there are no limits to who can be cast. Skin color, disabilities, race,
gender, ability, identity.
We have emailed around 40 schools in the Los Angeles area, as well as theater companies, just asking for them to send us their best people and how we want to really make this an inclusive show that represents the actual Santa Monica community.
The board is so excited about this production and so proud of the two of you. You guys had the most detailed proposal that the board has ever seen, and I'm thrilled that we voted unanimously to move forward this project. And I can't wait to have you guys back for a more in-depth interview once things are underway.
Thank you, we're very excited.
So excited.
Thanks, guys. We are so excited about this project. Be sure to watch our website, Instagram, and your email for more audition information. Last month's community discussion was a conversation about fat phobia on stage and off. We had some talented folks share their stories of struggle and triumph with us. It was another eye-opening chat. If you missed it, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. This month's discussion is a conversation about our Latinx friends and will be moderated by Marissa Herrera, who was part of last year's discussion on community outreach. She'll be joined by a panel that includes our very own Ariella Fiore. Another important discussion we'd love for you to see. Check it out on Thursday, May 27th at 8 p.m. Volunteer alert. You may have noticed it's getting a little dark behind me. Well, that's because we have a lot of house lights that have burned out. And we need a couple brave volunteers to help us out. I have a little height issue, but I know there are some members out there that don't. So if you don't mind climbing a ladder, I'll buy the bulbs. Just contact me at michael@morgan-wixon.org to help us out. Please. This month's featured committee is the Fundraising and Grant Committee. To be honest, this committee hasn't always been the most productive at the theater. But this year, the committee is hard at work on writing grants and fundraising. You've seen our emails and pleas, but this year it's been so important to get financial support to keep our doors open. Well, closed and locked, but open. You know what I mean. Anyway, I want to thank Chris Tiernan, Evelyn Vizzi, and Miriam Billington for all the help they have provided gathering information that's needed for all these grants, and a huge hug and basket of gratitude to Ann Gessling for the long hours of writing and putting together all the pieces and reports to submit for the grants that we hope to receive. It's a big job. Thanks to everyone for all they've been doing to help us with applying for grants and raising funds. The committee meets the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. If you're interested in attending the Fundraising and Grant Committee, reach out to one of the co-chairs, Ann Gessling or Chris Tiernan. You can write them at the email addresses on the screen for all the details. We have received a couple small grants so far, and thanks to those of you that gave to the Ready, Set, Show campaign, we're halfway to our goal. If you're able, as the world starts getting back to normal, please consider donating to the Ready, Set, Show and help us raise funds to bring live theater back to Santa Monica. Speaking of funds raised so far, as the city prepares to reopen, we too are getting ready for that day to come. We just had the entire theater deep cleaned by a professional crew who did an exceptional job. And it was not an easy job. We'll have them back right before we open to do it again. We also had the E.L. Paint Company service our air conditioning system and give it a thorough once-over. We want to make sure that the system is clean and functioning and filtering the best air possible for when you're back in these seats. And we just purchased a carton of hand sanitizer from Eclau Essentials, a company owned and operated by one of our own Wild Party cast members. That's what's so great about Theater for the Community. Our cast members, crew, and creative teams are actors and technicians at night, but are something else by day, like Javon Ford, who is a cosmetic chemist. He's created a full skincare line of moisturizers, cleansers, toners, and makeup for the stage and film. If you're interested in contacting Javon and Eclau for his line of products, you can find him at the email address on your screen. Some of our reopening efforts were mentioned in the Santa Monica Daily Press last week. It was exciting to be included, and we are grateful. Until then, on behalf of the board, thanks for watching these monthly updates. I ask you to join us for Nancy Ma's Home and our next Latinx community discussion. And don't forget to have our young people audition for Now, Hear This. Until next month, please remember to wear your masks indoors, socially distance, get the vaccine when you can, and follow the guidelines so we can all get back to normal soon. It's May. Have a great one.